All right, greetings everybody. It is Sick Umber Rays, having almost no voice, almost not feeling very well. But here we are. We are going to do a live stream recap for you because that's how serious I take this. And as always, I like you a lot. Don't take that too seriously. So yes, tonight was the live stream for War of the Visions for the JP side, with the only pre-information being that it was going to be that Mage. And honestly, I think that coming in, a lot of people thought that it was going to be a very specific Mage. And thankfully, if the music hasn't quite given it away, we'll just get a little. Okay, I really mistimed this. Actually, like I thought we were good, and then like no, it just my bad. It's okay. We'll just sit here awkwardly waiting before we get into the news tonight, I guess. They could really use a counter. There we go. So yes. The newest addition will be Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. Yes, the Final Fantasy VI collaboration will be making a return basically until the end of March for JP players, and as for you globalers, before you ask, 3 to 4 months at the very least. So yes, here you can see a little bit of a preview of his limit burst, his animations, and everything to do with this, as well as a new vision card that will be coming for this event. Now, also gets a little bit of a sneak preview of a boss that will be available in the event, as well as the returning characters. Of course, these 3 will be returning, and they will be getting their upgrades of their MA2s, as well as not just their MA2s, but their dream enhancements. So tons of stuff for Final Fantasy VI fans to be excited about, and Elemental fans as well. So yes, let's get right into it and skip ahead and talk about the big man himself. So yes, Kefka will be coming to the game. He is still a fire elemental character and is a 100 cost limited time character. For anybody who is doubting that this isn't going to be the norm going forward, it is. Now his VC will also be coming shortly after, and if not the same day even. I didn't check to see specifically what day that VC was coming before starting this video, and I forgot. But anyway, getting into Kefka really quickly before we go too much further, I want to say that Kefka, before I start giving his description, is basically sounding like an upgraded Sadali. And that's pretty exciting for certain players, because Sadali isn't known as being a bad character at all, right? Like, he's known as actually being pretty darn good. So, a fire elemental 100 cost character, Kefka also supports the subjobs of arithmetician and energist in his kit. Now his main job is considered to be a glove job, just like energist, so this basically is saying that he's going to be quite strong. But yes, his arithmetician will give him insta-cast heals and damage abilities, as well as potentially status effects, and his sub of energist will undoubtedly give him high attack and high speed for the first few turns, if that sub support skill is still available in its kit, just because not 100%. Now its limit burst is a big one, a large AoE that is capable of dealing high amounts of magic damage, as well as causing a status effect that will make the targeted and affected to turn against their own friends. That's right, it's confusion, but on an AoE. See why it's starting to sound like Sadali? Basically, a powerful magic limit burst that is AoE instead of a single target that causes a pretty nasty status effect to the opponent. Now, it's not charm. That is important, but it is AoE, so if you can get multiple characters under confusion, that's pretty dang strong. And yeah, overall, seems pretty good. Later on, we ended up getting a preview on his kit. And Kefka is an interesting character because just like Sadali, he is able to raise other characters' hatred or hate up kind of thing on other characters while keeping his own down. Now, Kefka is also described as having both re-raise available in his kit while also being able to cancel out other characters' re-raise, which is pretty dang interesting. Bottom left is a non-elemental damage ability that can deal high amounts of damage while also lowering reaction ability off of it too, so pretty good. And that's hyperdrive, by the way. Top right is a large AoE, which is Judgment of Light, I do believe, dealing large amounts of damage, or sorry, medium amounts of damage while 3 turns attack, magic, and speed get lowered. And bottom right is his hate up on other characters that also increases attack or area of attack resistance as well. So just giving a general overview, Kefka does seem very strong. I mean, basically a fire version of Sadali. Fire is unbelievably happy to get this. And I just want to say that even there's some interesting derpiness that you might be able to do with this. This might be what I'm about to propose, the highest limited cost team ever. And that team is Yuffie, Kefka, Roy. Now, in combination with a ton of limited vision cards that are only available through certain events, such as Roy's card, as well as, I think, not Yuffie's card, but there are a few other VCs that you particularly would want to go with this combination. Kefka generates hate up on Yuffie. You have an evade tank that can actually take cancel out a single strong attack, as well as her just having high natural evasion. And then the two powerful mages, wall up on the opponent. This is my idea. I hope other people are kind of interested in this, so that someday, sorry, my throat, someone can actually make this happen. But it is a 280 cost limited team. It is the dumbest thing. It is the most expensive thing. Orange A, get back to me on this. Or if anyone's listening to this, go suggest this to Orange A right now. Anyway, Kefka seems like an absolutely fantastic unit off the get-go. The one thing that I think, of course, is the obvious, like, uninteresting thing is just the fact that it's a 100 cost limited unit, which basically is just Sephiroth all over again. I expect this character to be insanely strong, possibly a little bit meta-defining, depending on how much we see him adopted on JP, but he is one of the most popular villains in Final Fantasy history, so yeah, I am expecting big things from this character. Alright, skipping a bit ahead, there will also be a new glove focused around Kefka. Now, before anyone says it, it does look like it's giving you the middle finger. It is actually supposed to be the pointer finger, not the middle finger. Before anybody says it, I said it first. Skipping ahead, of course, there will be the challenge missions, and the new VC is supposed to be a weapon type VC that focuses around gloves, as far as we know, that will increase magic, attack power, defense, and HP. So obviously great for Kefka, but also fantastic for Roy too. As for the other supported job types that will get this bonus, we'll have to wait and see for when this VC comes out. But oh, never mind, it is the same day as Kefka. Fantastic, great. Cleared that up right away. But that wasn't the only thing. We also have a slew of returning units and a VC, the Fire VC, which is basically good for Terra as well as Kefka with Human Killer for fire-based magic units is quite good. And Locke, Terra, and Celeste's upgrades were detailed after a fairly lengthy period of just going over all the units. Locke once again will be on a free pull for anyone is playing the game, so good for that kind of thing. Now, Master Ability 2s. Here is our details on it. Slash attack up for lock, as well as reaction block rate of 30. Terra, Meltdown will get a range +1 and a number of uses +2, which I do believe is similar, if not same, to the global one, or the global version of this character. As well, she'll get Human Killer +20 and area attack resistance of 10. Honest, and last but not least, before I give my thoughts on this, Celeste will get HP up by an extra 10% and slashing and shooting resistance by 20% increase. So here's my thoughts on just MA2s. From the MA2, I think that locks is pretty whatever. Slash is fine, reaction block is fine, but I don't know if it's enough on either account to really make a huge difference. Terra is weird because now she's kind of as good as global. The extra human killer on magic is strong, but it feels just kind of a so-so upgrade, so I'm not going to be super excited. Celeste getting extra slashing and shooting resistance is great, and her own HP up for a tank that's about to go into 140 is equally as grand, so that's pretty good. Now, skipping ahead, here is the Dream enhancement details. So Locke will get slash attack evasion and magic attack evasion of 15 each. So he does get some more evasion to certain damage types. Also, his Phoenix ability, his job level 25, will also get an increase of a single use, which is fine for guild battle and generally fine, but it's not incredibly exciting. So taken overall, I think that Locke is okay, but I don't know if it'll ever put him back into meta contention and I'm okay with that because I never want to see light evasion meta ever again, like when Locke happened. Now, Terra is basically getting AP acquired AP up by 30% and reaction block rate of 40, as well as her magic barrier is getting improved to be better than it was before. Now, honestly, AP is a big problem for this unit. I don't know if 30% is going to necessarily be enough for her to get there. Reaction block is fine. It's better than Locke. So I think Terra is maybe interesting. Maybe she's a fine upgrade. The question is she worth a limited UR horn? And that I'm just not convinced at this point, because Roy plus Kefka might be a overall just way insanely better combination for fire magic if you want to run fire magic. Like, seriously, the problem here is that Tina / Terra, whatever you want to call her, she has some really stiff competition with a new 100 cost mage, and if you just have Roy, you probably want Kefka more than Terra anyway, and then a tank or something else to protect your mages. So yeah, I think that Terra isn't going to be enough to compete, but hopefully people who like her will get some more value out of her. Last but not least, certainly, is Celeste, and a single target attack resistance of 10, healing power up by 20, and her hate generation ability now gives her a absorb part of HP damage for a healing effect on herself. In combination with everything else, I think it's the best of the three by far. Just single target resistance, extra damage type resistance, extra HP, and she can partially heal, and she can use Blood Sword, I believe. All of this, I think that Celeste is by far the easiest and best upgrade of all three of these units. So much so that she's the only one currently that I am going to focus on, and I think that is the correct decision, because also Celeste is going to hard counter Kefka and Terra if either one of them are strong, and Celeste was no slouch at this point. I mean, she's fallen a little bit out because of Dark Team's Lightning, which is such a huge advantage against fire. I think this will be an open and shut case for how great she is about to become. again, but not as oppressive as she was when she first came out on JP. So other than the VC returning, of course, old weapons from the Final Fantasy VI event will get upgraded, including the ribbon from Terra, and it looks like a brand new piece of equipment. There will also be a couple of challenge boardy stuff, some exchange shop and whatnot, and of course, if I can find it in here, there are some login bonuses with a couple of tickets and some resources for Final Fantasy VI. And before I forget any further, Final Fantasy VI orbs will remain the same for all 4 characters. So people who are worried about that have no fear. All right, and from there, we're going to go and talk about this. The 23 million download event will be happening right away here. JP will get 100 pulls by the looks of it, 10 per day, and no guaranteed URs on it, so a little bit disappointing. There will also be a major login campaign starting on the 27th, giving you a bunch of things, including tickets that will give you random 10 UR shards. They are not selector from what I have learned, so don't think that they are. Also be a bunch of other stuff, including 4,000 lapis, as well as some other goodies, so good for that. Next up, the second part of Wave Challenge, the Chamber of Arms, will be continuing, this time with the Masamune, a ninja blade, and a brand new bow. Honestly, considering how good those 2 pieces of equipment were the previous month, I really have high hopes that this bow will be amazing for Setia or Eliza or any archer in the future, as well as the ninja blade just being potentially great for farms. So high hopes that this is going to be good. Fingers crossed. I also want to say that it could be an indication of a new character coming next month, as just a maybe kind of thing, just a heads up. Could be a new ninja character, could be a new archer character. Maybe something to do with a story. Also, Selection Quest, both Lamega as well as Mr. Horny will be getting a brand new quest. And here you can see a new type of orb. This orb can be used for upgrading either of the characters. So the first time we're seeing dual orbs, which is kind of interesting. Hopefully it will be this is so that you can farm for either one of the characters to get them into their dream enhancement, but is definitely a point of interest. Now that's basically it for everything. I don't think I missed anything. In the acquisition quest, you can do 1 character reincarnation max in the quest mission. There might be some limitations on that, but I'll wait till it's out before I even say anything about it. Kind of needs to be like a UR horn in there too for one of these characters to really be worth it. But yeah, I think that Kefka is looking to be an insanely strong character and will definitely be a huge benefit to Fire, and it'll be interesting to see how the meta shapes and evolves. Stay tuned on Wednesday for when we have our first details about how truly amazing he is. See ya.